Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Booster John and today we are going to be swapping the engine on the EG once again. In the last video, I showed you guys the process of trying to diagnose the engine. And at the end of the video, we basically condemned the engine. We said we don't know what the problem is with the motor. We don't know why it's producing metal shavings. We don't know why it's knocking. I didn't feel comfortable throwing it on the dyno in that state because if it's going to fail on the dyno, it's going to be catastrophic and there will be no chance of saving the motor that I put thousands of dollars into. With that said, I made a commitment to be at Automotion on May 20th, 2022. I'll be there Friday, Saturday. I'm going to head home Sunday. And I am driving that car to Automotion. I'm driving that car there. Tuned with a turbo kit, like that's the way it goes. So you may be asking yourself right now, how are you going to do that if the motor that's in the car is producing metal shavings and not tuned? Well, a few months ago, one of you guys actually reached out to me. I have told nobody about this. I don't think I've mentioned this on the channel once yet, but one of you guys, probably back in like November of 21, hit me up and had a great deal on a GSR swap. It was a GSR trans long block. Like it was basically the whole GSR swap, and I just came through and picked it up. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it. I had no like real plans for the motor at the time, and it's just been sitting in the garage. It's been in the background like multiple times in multiple shots, but it's just been sitting in the garage out here chilling. And fortunately for me, in the situation that I'm in right now, that's going to be the backup engine, boys. It's completely stock as far as it looks, never been opened GSR long block. So today we are pulling out the built CSS LS VTEC turbo engine, and we are going to go ahead and swap in this GSR. It's completely stock, like I said. Will we make our goal of 500 wheel horsepower? Not safely for a very long time, but we will be making, hopefully, I'm just going to throw a number out there, hopefully like 350. That's the goal, somewhere in the mid 300s. I want to keep this motor safe. I want to keep this engine safe so that way it will actually survive for a little while in the car and hopefully be reliable for a while. Anyway, let's get started. I have a few things I need to do. I don't know exactly what order I'm going to do them in yet. I know I need to check the new engine and figure out what I'm using, what I'm not using, and get rid of what I'm not using, swap over what I am using onto the new long block. Basically just combine everything to have one good usable engine. In the meantime, I need to also organize this garage because it's a disaster from the last few weeks of diagnosing and engine swapping and turbo kits. And anyway, that's the plan. So let's get started, boys. We have literally less than a week to swap this engine in and get the car tuned and get it to Automotion. Let's do it. All right, guys, here's the GSR. Again, I think some of you guys already know this is the old valve cover from the LS VTEC. We're not going to be using this. We're actually going to be swapping over the purple valve cover. This is just on here protecting everything in there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start stripping off everything from this engine that we're not going to use. I'm going to make a pile on the floor that is like parts we're reusing, parts we're not reusing, parts we're not sure about. And I'm just going to get this thing pretty much torn down. It's a lot that has to come off, but here we go. This is what I do, boys. All right, boys, today's the day. I just got home from work. We finished up stripping down that old engine, or not old engine, the new engine the other night. Basically, everything is off of it. Clutch, flywheel still have to come off, basic stuff like that. But today is the day. It is Friday. I have a dyno appointment scheduled for Wednesday. So I have tonight, tomorrow I'm busy, and I have Sunday to swap this engine, get this car running, and get it on the dyno by Wednesday to drive it to Automotion 1 week from today. With that said, I've been visualizing all week, got myself all hyped up, got a beer full of fridge, got a nice cup of water, and I'm about to fire up the speaker, and we are going to get going. We have a lot of work to do. We gotta get this engine out and all taken apart, and then we have to get everything transferred over onto the new engine and drop that in. That's pretty much all I got, so let's friggin' do it. So Lupe is here. Lupe and I work together at Tesla. Lupe is our parts guy. We have been cranking. We already have this engine pretty much ready to pull. You know, it's only been an hour or so, maybe less.
It's because of me.
Pelon.
Fucking David.
Yeah, we were just unbolting the clutch sleeve. We're gonna get that out of the way, and then as soon as that's out of the way, we can undo the motor mounts, and it's ready to go. It's coming out. She's running tonight, eh? Woo! Running. Oh no! Frankie, no!
I don't even like it.
What? Guys, we're making really good progress. The long block is basically assembled with the trans on it. We switched over a bunch of stuff to basically get all the LS stuff to work with the GSR short block, like the bottom end. Sandwich plates on, oil filters on, oil line is run, breather ports are on the back, alternators on, everything is going great. We're on our way to AutoZone right now. We're gonna go to AutoZone and pick up a new intake manifold gasket because the thermal gasket that I have for the B16 head does not fit on the GSR head. I did not know that. Thankfully, AutoZone has one, so we're gonna go grab that right now, and then we're coming back. Intake manifold goes on, engine goes in the car. Might even start it tonight. We will see. All right, so the last thing that we have to figure out here on the back side of the engine is how to plug this coolant line, because I don't have anything to block this. And after looking around the garage, the only thing that I have that's gonna fit in here right, well, one of two things, is the clutch alignment tool, boys. I need to lube this thing up.
Spit on it.
Bam, dude, look at that. JDM, full custom. It even says Acura on it. That's GSR. It's OEM spec, boys. That's mint. If that leaks, I'll give you $5. All right, I gotta put the water neck on. Onward, boys. All right, we got a lot more to do, but we're about getting ready to put the manifold on, drop the engine in the car.
Now it's like 45 minutes or an hour of hustle, and then it's done. Then it'll start.
Yep.
Let's fucking run it up.
Let's do it. All right, boys. Everything's in. It's a full engine again. It's a full car again. Coolant's in. Oil is in. I got a filter just on here just for now. Breathers are hooked up. Everything is hooked up. We're gonna rotate the engine once by hand, just cranking it all the way through, and then I'm gonna start it. Batteries in and everything. So boys, this is going from running engine to running engine after work on a Friday. Starter wire. Take two. 207. Here we go, take two, trying to start the car. We already primed the fuel system, so we're just gonna go for it, see what happens. If it fires up, I'm seriously gonna shut it off in like 10 seconds because it's 2 in the morning. swapping some stuff, trying again. So we were halfway through swapping the distributors when we realized that we just never plugged in the first one. So I already put fresh plugs in it, so that's cool. It's got fresh plugs, same old distributor. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna try it one more time here. Running engine to running engine after work on a Friday. It is now 2:30 in the morning.
Dude, and it's running on all four too. That's what's nice.
Oh yeah. Woo! Distributor was unplugged.
I'm happy it was something stupid.
I will see you guys tomorrow. It is now officially the morning after, boys, and we have something pretty special on our agenda for today. Let me take you with me. Oh, they're filing in. We're at Pasha's graduation from college, from NIU, Northern Illinois University. Pasha's one of my best friends ever. He's always there for me. And man, congratulations. You worked really hard for this. You didn't even want to do it, and you freaking did it. Hand in the air, yeah. Yeah, that was him. There he is. One more. Yeah, Pasha! Yeah, let's go.
Is there a vlog going down here?
What's up, man? Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
We unknowingly sat like 3 rows from each other the entire time.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's so bright.
Well, guys, we are back from Pasha's graduation. It is obviously the next day from when we put the engine in the car. It's about 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night, and I am absolutely beat right now. But we do still have more work to do. We have to get the turbo on. We have to connect the oil lines for the turbo, wastegate dump, exhaust, O2 sensor, bleed the coolant, axle nuts, put the wheels on, and we have to install injectors. Injectors I think we'll do tomorrow, and whatever I can't finish right now, we'll do tomorrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and hopefully I can get this turbo on. So the way this works here is I have the bolts loose for the compressor side and the bolts loose for the hot side, so that way I can clock the core and I can clock the cold side independently from the core. So that way I can get the core lined up, tighten the bolts for the hot side, and then I can get the cold side lined up with the intercooler pipe, intercooler inlet, whatever, and tighten that up as well. Probably get the drain line on. Once I get the drain line on, then I'll know exactly where to lock the core. I'm just gonna do that. You're not gonna be able to see it anyway, but drain goes from bottom of the turbo to the oil pan. All right, guys, exhaust and wastegate dump are next. Oil return is hooked up. I have the oil feed chilling right here. I'll hook that up like last because it goes right on top. Well, I guess I gotta do it before I do the wastegate dump because that'll be in the way. Well, let's get the exhaust on. It's about dang time, boys. This video has been a shitload of work, like probably the most amount of work I've ever done in one YouTube video. So like, subscribe, I appreciate it a lot. Check out the merch in the description down below if you'd like to support. BlownMotorClub.com. It really fits in this scenario because, you know, obviously swapping out a blown motor again. All right, boys, firing it back up, day 2. Full exhaust, well, I guess full dump, whatever. Turbo is back in, so should be quite a bit quieter. Everything seems to be nice in there. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm gonna bleed the coolant, like I said, and do suspension. It's running a little rich at about 11.7. Cold start, which, you know, I always have really rich cold start for whatever reason, but this should be fine for now for me to just, you know, get the car running, driving, get it to dyno. All right, guys, coolant is bleeding. We are done. Like, wheels are on, everything is torqued. We have one major issue. We were gonna take this car out tonight, take it for a drive, make sure everything's good. Fortunately, we found a problem. Like, I normally say unfortunately we found a problem, but fortunately we found this problem with the car on jack stands. I had Kearney hold the brake for me so I could torque the wheels, torque the lug nuts, and when she was pressing the brake and I was trying to torque the passenger side, the brakes were not engaging. So I had her pump it a few times. Sure enough, we have a leak in one of the brake hoses. So we're gonna see if we can get our hands on a brake hose tomorrow, and if we can, sick. Unfortunately, I was gonna try to take this car to a car meet tomorrow morning. I don't think that's gonna happen with the brake line issue. That's a bummer, but I'm really glad we found it because it would have been way more of a bummer if I took this thing out or even backing out of the driveway and crashed it. So let's see what temps are at. 189. This should bleed. This should open up any second now, and then we should be fit. Now, before the dyno can happen, we do have one last thing to do. And I know I keep saying like one last thing, but really, I think this should be the last thing. I have some Injector Dynamics ID 1750s or 1700s, whatever. Big daddy, big boys. These were supposed to go on, obviously, the built motor, and we're gonna make some serious power. I'm just gonna still run them on this one since I have them, and we'll make some pretty good power and hopefully have some pretty reliable injectors. So these will have to go in tomorrow as well. Plugs have to get repinned. I got a buddy coming over to help me out with that. He's very efficient at it. We worked together at Tesla, and he's pretty good at it. So not that I can't do it, he's just definitely better at it, and he's gonna be much faster, so I can fix the brake line while he does that. It's gonna be great. We'll get this car out on the road. Hell yeah. And yeah, obviously intercooler pipe, but there it is, boys. Friggin' GSR swapping a night. All right, boys. Here goes nothing. We're officially going for the first ride. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to film because I only have my main camera here, but I'm very excited, and as you can imagine, after everything that I've been through with this car, very nervous. E-brake is off. Oh shit, that clutch is stiff. And it won't go into gear. Why? Oh man, that's a problem. Clutch disc is on backwards, boys. Yeah, I had to drop the trans, but fortunately it only took me like 45 minutes to an hour or so. Flip the clutch disc around, throw it all back in, and should be good to go. Should be. So trans is back in, car drove, it went back and forth in the driveway. Now that we know that everything is good, driving and running. Thankfully Omar came over. He's one of our best guys at Tesla with electrical work and repinning things. So Omar is helping repin the injector plugs, and Rob came out. So they're working together to repin these plugs. Almost done, only got a couple left, right? Yep. Only one left. So I'm gonna have to adjust the tune after the new injectors go in because it's gonna be probably like pissing fuel into the cylinders. So we'll see. Okay. Yeah, no, way too much fuel. It has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it might flood it.
I'll just flood it, so I'm just gonna stop. beer full of fridge.